Hey, MathKook here. This video contains one of many examples in my Algebra 2 library. The rest of those examples, along with hundreds of other videos, are only available at mathkook.com. Let's MathKook it up. This question says, graph the function f of x equals negative x plus 3 squared plus 4. Identify the parent function and state any transformations needed to graph. So we're going to approach this graph here two different ways. The first way is using the parent-child function relationship, and the second way is just using the transformations and graphing each transformation in the correct order. So let's go ahead and do the parent-child function relationship first. So let's identify the parent function. So who's the parent function here? So hopefully you said y equals x squared, so it's a parabola. So I'm going to write that right here. So our parent function is y equals x squared. Okay, so now we're going to graph with three main points for this function. So the three main points are going to be -1, and you can use 5. I'm just using 3 for now. If you plug those in, -1 squared gives you 1, 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1. Okay, so now let's identify the transformations that are happening in this graph. Let's start with the negative. So we have a negative out front of the function. So that negative is going to be a x-axis reflection. So if you have a negative out front of a function, it's x-axis reflection. Now we have an x plus 3 inside the function. So this is going to be a x shift. And then since it's plus 3, you would think it goes right, but it actually goes left. So this guy, this plus 3 here, is going to be a shift, then left 3. Okay, I always tell my students x's lie, so it's kind of a good little slogan to know. So in this case, since it's plus 3, it actually goes left 3. Lastly, we have the plus 4 on the outside. So what does that do to the graph? That's going to shift the graph, so up 4, so shift up 4. So that's a y shift up 4. Okay, so next we are going to find our child function here. So let's look at the x value. So which of these transformations will affect the x value? So the only one, the x-axis reflection here actually affects the y value, because if you have a point and you reflect it over the x-axis, the y value changes signs. So the only one of these three that affects the x value is the shift left 3. So that means we're going to go x minus 3. So that's what goes here in the x spot. In the y spot, these two guys will affect the y. Because there's an x-axis reflection, it'll be negative y, then up 4. So it'll be negative y and then plus 4, because we're shifting up 4. All right, so we're going to use these two for our child function. Now we'll plug in -1. -1 minus 3 is -4. Then we'll plug in the next x value, which is 0. 0 minus 3 is minus 3. Then 1 minus 3 is -2. Next, the y's, so we'll plug in 1. -1 plus 4 is 3. Plug in 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. And then plug in 1. -1 plus 4 is 3. All right, so let's go ahead and graph our parent function first. So we have -1, 1. We have 0, 0, 1, 1. All right, and then this is going like this here, roughly. Nice little parabola looking thing here, going up and to the left and up and to the right. So there is our parent function, y equals x squared. So now we're going to graph our child. So -4, 3. So that's left 4, up 3. So that's like right there. We'll do the the child function in green. Next we have -3, 4. So -3 and then up 4. So it's like right there. And lastly, we have -2, 3, so left 2, up 3, which is right there. All right, so there is our graph. So we just make our parabola here, goes down to the right, like that. So this is our final function here. That is this graph here. So I'll go ahead and label that. So f of x equals -x plus 3 squared, and then plus 4. So that's that graph. And then the original graph was just your y equals x squared, your parent function. All right, so now let's erase our old graphs here, and we'll look at this graph. We'll graph it using our second method, which is just using transformations. Group the parent together here and bring that over. Okay, and then we bring up our graphs here. All right, so we start off with our parent function. So we're going to graph our parent function on the first graph. So that's here, here, and here. We already did that in the previous one. So it looks roughly like this here. So there's y equals x squared. So which of these three transformations are we going to do first? So let's bring down our order of transformations. We do reflections first. So there's one reflection, the x-axis, so we're going to do that first. So this point will go down here, this point will stay, and this point will be reflected down here. So those 3 points now will become here, here, and here. So again, this is our x-axis reflection. All right, so we'll go ahead and write that here. So this is our x-axis reflection. Okay, cool. So that's that guy, and then next we're going to shift left 3 and up 4, and that's actually our final step for the order of transformations. There's no stretches or compressions for step 2, so we skip down to step 3. And we can do these shifts here in the same exact step. So I'll write here, we'll shift, I'll just say left 3, and we'll go up 4 as well in the same step. So we'll start off with the point -1, -1, this point. So we're going to go left 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this point is going to be on our graph here. That's going to be -4, 3. Next, we'll take 0, 0, and go left 3 and up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that takes us here to -3, 4. And then lastly, we have this point. We'll go left 3, up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So -2, 3. All right, so now our parabola, our final parabola, looks like this here. So this is our final graph of our f of x here. Hey Kook, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. For unlimited access to all of my Algebra 2 videos, visit mathkook.com. Thanks for watching.